Hi, I'm Amber Collins. Thanks for joining me in my presentation on the internal and external barriers to precepting faced by female physician assistants. I'm the Director of Clinical Education for the Physician Assistant Program at Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions. In my short 2.5 years in this role, I have observed increasing competition for student clinical rotation sites. Our team is regularly increasing our resources just to accomplish the same amount of work. In 2017, the Association of American Medical Colleges predicted a national physician shortage of between 40,000 and 105,000 physicians by the year 2030. And while the physician assistant profession has grown to aid this national crisis and is expected to see a 72% increase between 2010 and 2025, a barrier to meeting the physician shortage is access to clinical rotation training sites. The Physician Assistant Education Association states that the availability of clinical training sites and preceptors is not keeping up with the demand. In a 2011 national survey of physician assistants, it was found that only 25% of active certified physician assistants participated in clinical precepting, and the majority of preceptors were male. This leaves the medical community with tens of thousands of unutilized PAs who could serve as educators for the next generation of PAs. In an industry dominated by women at 65% and with nearly 74% of the PA student population being female, this lack of participation is unsustainable for the PA profession and PA education. The purpose of this phenomenological study is to discover the current frequency of PAs serving as clinical preceptors, as the most recent data is over a decade old, to determine if there remains a difference in precepting rates between males and females, and to gain insight into why female physician assistants do not serve as clinical preceptors as often as males. The central research question of this study is, what process theory explains why female physician assistants are less likely to serve as clinical preceptors for PA students compared to males? This qualitative study utilized a document analysis of a preceptor CME application survey from the PA program at Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions, 2 individual interviews with practicing female physician assistants, and a 1-hour field observation of a female PA working in a semi-rural OB/GYN clinic. In the data analysis, 2 major themes emerged addressing the reasons why PAs do not precept students. First, external barriers had 3 sub-themes: production and schedule, relationships, and incentives. The second major theme was internal barriers with 5 sub-themes including confidence level, self-efficacy and expectations, social roles and expectations, interest levels, and motivators. Of the external barriers that kept female PAs from precepting, scheduling and production was one of the most prominent sub-themes. One participant said, quote, "Precepting definitely slowed things down and it was a little more challenging to keep up." Another concurred with, "I know students take time and that's a big thing. I like to stay on time with my schedule. Students kind of slow you down a bit." Another external barrier was relationships, especially how precepting can impact work-life balance. One subject mentioned that there is a lot of pressure to be home when you're home, to do extra things with family. Another commented that it's just the time factor. If I was slowed down with documenting at work, it takes time away from family. The last external barrier subtheme was incentives. Specifically, both interviewees struggled to identify incentives that would be appealing to them. One said, "I don't know that I would expect anything," and another, "I want time. People can't give me time." Both interviewees agreed that money is appealing. A money incentive might be helpful, at least you're getting paid for being slower, says one participant. The internal barriers faced by PAs that limit precepting includes confidence level. One PA said, "I haven't wanted to precept any students, probably because I don't feel like smart enough to teach." When asked if male providers experience precepting differently than females, both female interviewees agreed that male providers usually seem more confident than women. Women were also limited by self-efficacy and internal expectations. One PA described it like, "I guess internal pressure, I want to be present when I am home and not thinking about what I need to do." Another said, "I don't know if I'll ever feel like I know enough." Female PAs also face unique social roles and expectations. It was noted that men do not feel the same kinds of pressures of balancing work, staying late, and being present at home. Another sub-theme was interest level, where one female PA eventually hopes to precept one day, another had no interest in precepting at all. The last sub-theme of internal barriers was motivators. For the PAs who precepted, it was common that they enjoy teaching, keep up to date on medical knowledge and skill, and like to give back. In summary, there are both external and internal barriers faced by PAs, particularly females, in regard to precepting students. The data from this study was from a small, limited sample and is not generalizable to the general population of PAs, particularly female PAs. However, it does give some insight into what might factor into a female PA's decision to not precept a student. Additional data collection will help determine how common these themes are for female PAs, or if other themes did not emerge but are common with others. Specifically, former research notes that administration is the main reason PAs do not participate in precepting, but that was not found in this data set. Hopefully, by better understanding the barriers faced by female PAs, clinical educators can find solutions to help increase their willingness to participate in clinical training. By tapping into this vastly underused educational resource, hopefully the competition limiting the PA's profession and their ability to contribute to the physician shortage will be reduced. These are the references from this presentation. Thank you.